Okay, so Professor, you have rightly pointed out the ineffectiveness of international institutions. So my question is, how do you analyze the immediate and long-term implications for the global political system, or when we talk about particularly the Middle East?
Look, unfortunately, many of the root causes that underpin this particular episode, and I call it an episode because I think that this is a conflict that extends far beyond this past 2 weeks. The root causes remain unresolved. And those root causes go to the question of Israel and the question of Palestine. And until that particular question is ultimately resolved in a way that delivers a stable set of security institutions that satisfy all the parties involved, then I'm afraid the region will continue to exist in a state of instability. Some of the long-standing disputes, of course, have been mediated successfully, and I think particularly of those between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Iran itself, as well as the long-standing factional disputes amongst the Palestinian organisations themselves. But they are only part of what is clearly a very complex and historically grounded series of disputes, many of which, I might add, are amplified by the role of Western imperial nations, originally the British, and of course more recently the United States. And because of that, it is going to be still very difficult for the region to ultimately arrive at a settlement that delivers the security ambitions that every particular nation in the region looks to. And so, for the time being, we are left with a situation in which the nations themselves are addressing the issues less at a strategic level and far more at a tactical level, in a sense, to just get by and try to get through another month and another month and another month without necessarily breaking out into further conflict. So from a long-term point of view, there is a long way to go before we are able to close off this chapter of Middle Eastern instability.